Welcome back to the Grundle Bundle podcast with your hosts, me and Tom.
Hello, Adam. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. What's been going on?
Did I tell you the other day we went to the emergency room?
I don't think so.
Yeah, bloody...
Did you get something stuck in your bum again?
No, not this time. Well, it wasn't me that went, it was actually Red that went. Apparently her and her father were doing some gardening the other day,
Yeah.
hammering in a stake into the ground.
Yeah.
And Red must have been holding it, and
Yeah.
her dad had the hammer, and he's missed straight into her hand.
Oh,
So,
fuck that.
yeah. So I got home. She said this happened about 3 in the afternoon. I got home from the gym about 4.
Yeah.
And, she had an ice pack on it, and she's like, oh, yeah, this is what happened. I'm like, oh, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
And we waited about another hour because she thought, oh, I'll just keep icing it. It might
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
It didn't go well. She said no. Because I suggested, do you want to go to the hospital to make sure it's not broken or whatever?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, it'll be all right. But then, it got to about 5 o'clock. Oh, no, better go.
Yeah.
Went up there. Probably got there, I don't know, 5:30-ish, I suppose.
Yeah.
4 fucking hours
Yeah.
we were there. Just for them to say, no, it's not broken.
I mean,
And I tell you, because I've never been to the...
to ED.
I've never been to the emergency room, and I tell you what, the class of people up there is...
Yeah.
Fuck me.
That's the trouble with public hospitals. Like, if you go to a private hospital, you pay a premium, but you're
Yeah.
seen, fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And
'cause,
I guess
like-
for Red, unfortunately, it's a fairly low category, a potential broken bone. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not like someone having a heart attack or their appendix is going to burst like
I
the
get
last
that.
time I was there.
I get that. But...
Yeah.
Yeah, I just... Because I'm sitting there, and every fucking person's hacking and coughing
Yeah.
and dying. No bastard's got a...
No one wears masks anymore.
Well, not even masks. No bastards covering their mouth.
No.
They just...
They just don't care.
Look straight at you, make eye contact, and do the biggest fucking cough
Just-
straight at you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Like,
Yeah, you gotta physically move your head to get out of the road of the cough.
I guess your boxing training's come in handy.
Yeah, I look like a
ducking
fucking
and
idiot,
sliding
though.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Just standing there, zigging and zagging.
And, I mean, you're fully clothed. Your clothes are washed,
Oh, yeah,
so you look
yeah.
more out of place.
Yeah.
No offense to people
Oh,
who
no,
genuinely
no,
need
but-
to use an emergency department, but
Oh no, yeah, fair enough.
there
but-
is often a caliber of people hanging
Oh,
around.
I met Toowoomba's finest up there that
Oh,
night. Fuck
it's
me.
It's so
The
shit.
couple to me left were having a domestic.
Yeah,
There was some bloke wandering around. He was obviously off his chops.
yeah,
Just wandering around. Arms were sort of... It's like he didn't have quite enough control over his arms, and
Yeah.
he was sort of like half dancing, half epileptic fitting.
yeah.
He kept going over to the payphone, and it's like he'd put money in, and then he'd press the eject button.
Yeah.
I think he might have thought he was playing the pokies or something. He wasn't annoying anyone. He was just
I mean,
there.
that's good. Like,
Yeah.
if he's off in his own world, just let him
yeah.
be.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Yeah, he wasn't. He definitely wasn't on Earth. He
Yeah.
was somewhere else.
yeah. No, the 3 times I think I've been to ED, only once I've had to wait in the, waiting area.
Yeah.
And that was, 3/4 of an hour, maybe.
Oh yeah.
First time was after my bike crash.
Yeah.
So I got taken in on by ambulance.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
no waiting room for me, just straight
Well,
through.
actually, now they do. There's a sign that I read. Even if you come in by ambulance,
Yeah.
they
Oh,
still stick you in the. Depending on how bad it is.
it
obviously,
depends
but-
on the injuries. Because if you come in
But they're-
because you've twisted your ankle and
Yeah, they still stick you in the
They'll-
triage thing, and then say, "Oh,
they'll
whatever.
assess you and go, all right, now
Yeah.
you can go wait out the front
Get in the
until your
room
turn.
with everyone
yeah,
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because they suspected spinal injuries for me and whatever, that's
Yeah.
pretty high priority.
Serious sort of shit.
Yeah, and then I went for my appendix.
Oh yeah.
That's when I had to sit out in the waiting room
Yeah.
because it wasn't bad enough to take me straight in.
Yeah.
So I waited a little while. Then they took me in and cut me up.
Yeah.
And then the last time I went to ED was the day I got out of hospital after my appendix.
Oh
Just
yeah.
sitting at home. Everything's hunky-dory. I mean, I'm sore because they've been
Yeah.
stabbing me and filling me up with air and whatever.
Bonus.
Hopefully not. I was asleep. I don't know.
Exactly.
Um,
Perfect opportunity.
oh, yeah. Well, yes and no. I was on my back. So, a little more difficult. But
Well,
we,
they put it in your mouth then. And took a heap of selfies.
instead of the oxygen tubes,
Dick tube.
then couldn't breathe. So I walked through ED, struggling for breath, and they're like, you need to come straight through.
No, yeah. What was wrong
But-
with you? Blocked nose.
They couldn't find anything. They thought it might have been like a pulmonary embolism.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
Nothing.
I'm going to pretend I know what that is.
Like a clot in your lung.
Ah, right.
Yeah. No, found nothing. CT scan, ECG,
I told you to stop
the whole
faking
works.
it. Stop wasting our time.
God, I wish I was faking it. That sucked.
No.
Not being able to catch your breath.
Mm.
And yeah, because it was so close after surgery, I'd only had blood thinners that morning,
Yeah.
but not the 3 days before that I'd been in hospital.
Right.
In theory, those sort of patients will get a blood thinner every morning.
Yeah.
I only got it the day after my surgery before I went home.
No.
And even ED couldn't figure that one out. But,
Yeah.
you know, I try not to get hurt or sick.
Well,
Well, I get hurt a lot. I'm an idiot. But never,
not an emergency
not
room
often
hurt.
serious enough for that, yeah. I've only been hurt once enough for emergency.
Well, we
The rest was my body betraying me.
Yeah, it was kind of because they've got a little screen up there saying like estimated time to see the doctor and then estimated time to see the nurse.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like 260 minutes or something, and I'm thinking that can't be right.
Yeah.
Because again, I knew it was long waits, but I
Yeah.
thought 3 hours. No, come on.
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna go, oh yeah, no, that's not broken. Next,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Nah.
Yeah.
We were there for probably half an hour, got taken in for an x-ray, and I
Yeah.
thought, oh, good, this is going pretty quick.
Yeah.
Then go sit in the waiting room, and it was like, 3.5 hours later,
Yeah.
some nurse comes, grabs us, and says, oh, just come with me. We walk through the place.
Yeah.
We walk into the fast track lounge.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you're fucking 4 hours, and like,
And
this
now
is
I'm in
fast
another
track?
lounge, like,
But
yeah.
no, we walk straight past the lounge and into a thing, and where
Yeah.
she said, "Oh, I've looked at your X-ray; it's not broken. You're all good."
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as I saw that sign, like fast track,
Yeah.
lounge, I was like, because I'm not an angry person, but I tell you what, I was just about to say.
Are you
to the
sure
nurse,
about that? Like,
Yeah,
I've spoken to you recently.
yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm usually not angry at the public. I don't want to be one of the other fucking morons that was back in the other.
You don't want to be
waiting
the
room.
people out there having a domestic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the nurse trying to help.
Mm.
But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking 4 hours, and now like this is wait. So 4 hours is the fast track. No,
Yeah.
4 hours is the wait to get into the fast
Yeah,
track
yeah.
lounge.
Well, I guess it depends.
But no,
you could be brought in by ambulance and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
stuck. Yeah. But
anyway,
anyway,
it was all good. She just
Yeah.
said, "Oh no, it's all not broken. See ya." Like,
that's
"Oh,
that's
thank
good.
you."
Like, it's nice that it's not broken.
Oh yeah,
It's nice to have that peace of mind,
yeah,
but it is frustrating.
yeah.
Like-
I just thought like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So I guess you count yourself lucky that you're not one of the people who's in there as a frequent flyer,
Yeah, but
just
that's
wasting your life
Yeah.
sitting in there. Like,
but I mean,
how little else do you have going on in your life that you're like, oh yeah, I could, comfortably give up 4 hours of my time
yeah, just
for nothing. Like,
well, if I got a day off tomorrow, that might be worth it.
Yeah.
But it's like
I might stub
it?
my toe and go to emergency. Like,
because the nurse actually said to her, "Oh, do you want a sick leave form?"
yeah,
And it was
'Cause
on the
you
tip
could
of
have
my
been-
tongue to say, "Can I have one?"
yeah. Well, I mean, you could have had a shift that night and
I get
were
that.
there with
Yeah.
her, so they will give you one. But
Oh yeah, I understand that, but I was thinking, yeah, I could do with a day off
yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. How long are you willing to write that form for?
yeah.
Ah, dear. I actually had a couple of things to bring up
Mm.
today.
Yeah.
First one, so for those who don't know, and I don't know how you've got this far in and don't know.
Oh no, never mind. The recording just froze up for a second, but it's still going.
Fair enough. Yeah, we like video games just a smidge. So, on that note, I wanted to ask you, Adam, if you could live in any video game, what would it be? Now, as a preface to this, I thought of the question and have not thought of an answer yet.
Well,
but
good.
that's what this forum is for. Discuss back and forth.
I'd want it to be a non-violent game.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I don't really, want
You're not
to be living under constant threat.
Yeah, you're not a violent person, but
Well, not
we do
even that,
enjoy semi-violent games.
Oh, yeah,
like
but I wouldn't want to. It's like
you don't want
medieval
that as your
games.
reality.
Yeah, it's like it'd be cool to visit medieval times, but I don't think I'd want to live there.
I was actually just thinking about
of
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yeah.
Awesome game.
Yeah.
But then you think, if I was to go back to that time, hygiene is non-existent.
Yeah.
Medicine is non-existent.
Yeah.
Like
A splinter
cutting
will
your
kill
finger.
ya.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a time that you really want to be living if you've got a choice.
Maybe like Mario or some shit. I've never played a Mario game, like Mario World. But then again, there's things in that kill you.
Yeah. I don't think
at
there's...
least they look cute and cuddly.
I'm trying to think what just a relaxing passive game is, and I don't think I can.
Yeah, I can't think of
None
one.
of my games.
So I suppose if I were to live in a video game world, it would probably be... fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, I this is exactly why I asked it. One of my thoughts was like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Just that nomad lifestyle, living in a camp
Yeah.
in the bush.
In the bush.
That just
Yeah.
appeals to me
Guns
so much.
everywhere. That'd be mad.
Oh,
It'd be mad, but it'd be like Westworld mad, like as long as I couldn't die.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or so long as you're only using those guns for, say, hunting.
Oh no, but I'd want
But,
to go
like-
Burko and like kill a heap of people.
If you could have God mode turned on,
The only problem is they could kill me.
yeah, if you had God mode, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You would just go ballistic. But
Yeah, and then just go to the bloody train station, throw them a 50 and say sorry about massacring that town.
yeah.
Maybe
I'm just going to load up your...
Journey? Have you ever
I haven't played Journey.
Journey? 'Cause I don't think you... Well, neither have I, but I've seen some bits of it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can't die in that. It's just like a walking simulator sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then again, that'd
I
be
just-
fucking boring.
I was about to say, I just had a thought of one that we basically live in anyway. The Sims.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shittier... Actually, no, it's a more simplified version of our lives.
Yeah.
So that would be nice in some respects.
Go to work, come home, sit in front of the TV,
Getting
go to
paid,
bed, get up, go
you
to
know,
work.
$150 an hour to work 4 days a week. That appeals to me very highly.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Being able to, get through every promotion possible in your job within a week.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Depending on how many friends you have, and
Yeah, yeah.
I always found that so funny in the first one. It's like, sorry, you don't have enough friends, so you can't have this promotion.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just looking through your game list, none of them really stand out. I mean,
City Skylines. That's
maybe
sort of like
that's
living
like
in
Sim City. It's
Yeah.
pretty much The Sims and what we do. Just Cause would be cool because physics just isn't a thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, just launching yourself around.
yeah. Do you know what would be a really shit one?
What?
Keep talking and nobody explodes.
Yeah.
Like just living
Just
on a
trapped.
3-minute schedule,
Yeah.
constantly disarming bombs. Fuck that. That sounds...
The Witcher would be cool.
Yeah, The Witcher would be...
As long
Pretty
as I
wicked.
was like the Witcher and not some peasant who's been eaten.
Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you another one that would be interesting.
Yeah.
South Park.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it's violent, but it's comedically violent. And it's like kids' imagination violent.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool one.
Yeah,
But
it's
otherwise-
kinda funny that because you think, well, you don't want to get in there and immediately die,
Yeah, yeah.
but then it's like we don't want it too easy because then you just get bored.
Yeah,
Almost like real life.
yeah.
So I suppose The Sims, because The Sims is probably more like real life than anything.
Yeah,
other than the pay and
Yeah.
and the promotion styles.
The best of both worlds would be where we like living here with Sims level pay
Yeah.
and the ability to modify your house as easily as in
Yeah,
The Sims.
on a whim.
Yeah.
And picking up skills is like,
Oh, just a breeze.
yeah, it's like 5 minutes work. And
I
I'm
want
a
to learn the
master.
guitar. All right.
Yeah.
5
Pick it
minutes. Yeah.
Hit it a few times and it's like, well, now I'm Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then even that would get boring because you'd be like, where's the struggle?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
God,
absolutely.
This is more of a philosophical question than I first thought about.
Yeah. It's very deep. Could you imagine living in something like Tetris?
Fuck that. No,
I don't know
actually.
how it would work, but
No one could imagine that.
well, unless people are bent into the shapes.
It's like Kama Sutra.
I just had a really bad thought.
Maybe that's what...
I was going to
like-
say the bodies are the shapes.
Yeah.
You're burying all the bodies.
Oh.
But when you line them up, they just disappear. And that's them dissolving into earth.
Disintegrating.
So then you can just pack more people in.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass
Well,
here.
I was more thinking about an orgy, but all right. Don't spit that on my computer, I'll kill you.
I almost spit it in my microphone.
That's why I don't allow drinks in my car because my sister was sipping on a Macca's Coke one time.
Yeah.
And I told her a joke and she just spat it all over the windscreen.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh, I hate that.
right, new rule.
Yeah. I hate it enough when, like, I sneeze or something in the car and you splatter the windscreen. Like, I've done it before.
Yeah.
That's not so bad. That's me. Something I can't control.
Yeah.
Not some moron spitting a drink everywhere.
Yeah. You know what annoys me when you're in your car and
Yeah.
say there's like a little bug or something floating around
Yeah.
and you squish him against your windscreen.
Yeah.
And you scoop him away, but now you've got this greasy fingerprint
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And you can't miss it because it's
Yeah.
always
It's-
in your
it's
eye line
right-
because that's
yeah.
where the bug is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that grinds my grundle.
oh yeah, that grinds my grundle, all right.
Anything, any mark on the inside of my windscreen frustrates the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because,
And now I know I can just get some Windex and wipe it, but then
Yeah.
it's almost like you get the sort of...
it never
It never
comes up
quite-
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you think,
and you'll like get
I should've
one
just
streak.
fucking left it.
Yeah. If I didn't touch it,
Yeah,
it'd be
it'd be
perfect. It's got that
fine.
natural film from the factory.
Yeah.
Everything's even. But as soon as
no,
you interfere,
yeah, I had to go fucking with
it's
it.
same as anything. You
Yep.
go to fix anything. You go to paint a wall, and it's never fucking right.
No.
And you see it every time.
Yeah.
You can't
it's
ignore it.
like you're patching a hole,
Yeah.
and it's like you can still see where you've patched it because the paint isn't exactly right.
Yeah.
It's like,
Or there's like a little divot
Yeah,
where the
yeah.
plaster's gone in or something. And
and you can't not notice
yeah,
it.
you can't unsee that.
Yeah.
The only way to fix that is tear the whole friggin' thing down, start
Yeah.
again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just get a spoon, pop both your eyes out.
I mean, that'd work. If you
No,
can't see it, it's
but
not a
you'd still
problem. But
know.
yeah.
You need to go full
Well,
lobotomy.
then you rub your hand over it and you can feel it. So you got to cut your arms off at the hand. Yeah.
You're better off just killing yourself.
That's what it is going to eventuate to. Because you cut your hands off and then you go full daredevil
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
can hear the divot.
Yeah, my voice reverberates off of that particular spot.
Yeah.
Just a touch differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can sonar see this entire wall and that bit is...
Yeah. Wrong.
You'd see it worse
Well,
because
you
you'd pick
would.
up every little deviation. Although, I am going deaf, so sonar just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Which could be a blessing. You're gonna end up
Yeah.
worse than Helen Keller.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
You'll
you'd
be-
end up blinding yourself. You get picks and just jam them in your ears.
Yep.
You've already
Cut your
blinded
tongue off.
yourself. Yeah.
You cut your arms and legs off, so here you just torso boy. Just sitting there going, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah. With bloody cotton
But
wool
that's
up
the
your
thing,
nose so you
you'll
can't
still-
smell.
You'll still think about the divot.
That's the worst bit.
That's where the lobotomy comes in.
Not even the lobotomy. Just
Nah, just the bullet.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Or you could just
Just go the
Move.
full Kurt Cobain.
yeah, you'll either
Or-
have to kill yourself or move.
Yeah. One is definitely cheaper than the other. And because unfortunately, if you move, wherever you move to, you're going to find
You'll find
imperfections.
another divot.
Yeah.
Find the divot from the previous bastard who moved.
Who's done the same thing.
Yeah.
You've just swapped houses.
Yeah.
Just frustrated punching holes in the wall. That's why you go live in a tent.
Yep.
Except the ground isn't going to be level enough. Like,
there's divots everywhere.
yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about?
I really don't know. We got a bit fucking sidetracked on that. But anyway, let's bring it back.
Yeah,
the next question I had: Are there, or what movies, or probably more so games? There's plenty of movies for me, but there's definitely games that have made you emotional. Like, you get so invested in either the movie or the game, just the storyline of it. The first couple that come to my mind, so The Lion King. Mufasa's death gets me every time.
No, gets you hard.
Well, hard and a bit teary.
Yeah,
You know, that natural lube.
cry wank.
Yeah. That scene always cuts me to the bone or to the core.
Cut you to the bone, all right.
Oh, yeah. The Lord of the Rings, the very end of The Return of the King.
Where Frodo goes on the boat.
Even before that.
No, wait.
Yeah,
Return of the King, yeah.
So, pretty much as soon as Frodo wakes up in the bed and everyone starts coming in, that gets me.
Yeah.
And then the big scene in Gondor after Aragorn's been crowned, and they walk up to the hobbits and they say, "You bow to no one." That gets me every fucking time.
Yeah.
And then, the Grey Havens, where they're getting on the boat. I'm like, fuck this movie. It's that would make it better.
Fuck
if he
the
just
rest
goes, "Nah, I'm sick of being here. You're all cunts.
I'm going to heaven.
Yeah.
Fuck the rest of you.
I'm going to go fuck some elves for the rest of my extremely long life."
Yeah.
Like, yes, he would look like God. As soon as he walks into the shore of the Undying Lands, be like, all this, like, all the opportunities.
Yeah. And then just gets rejected.
Every
time. He's like, why didn't I just die?
Yeah. And now I'm here. I don't know if I can die. This is bullshit.
Yep. You thought you were going to heaven. This is actually hell.
But the video game, the first one that comes to my mind is Red Dead Redemption 2.
No.
Like, I don't know, what's the main story? 60 hours or something?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's without doing all the side shit. Like, you just get so invested in that character. You spend so many hours of your life.
Yeah, and then spoiler, he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, then that music. First they kill his horse.
Yeah.
Like, you bond with this horse, you do everything for the whole game.
Yeah.
Then they kill it.
Yeah.
And the scene where it dies, like, the first time that happened, I'm like, well, that's shit. For two reasons. I'd paid a lot of money for that fucking horse to get the best one in the game. And good horse. You know, you've picked a name for it, something you enjoy. You do everything with that horse. And then they just kill it off. And you're like, well, now I've got to start from scratch. Little did I know.
Arthur's not looking too good at this point.
No. Well, he's dying of tuberculosis. And then you get to that final scene where he just...
Where he's lying there,
well,
the sun comes up or whatever.
In the... Was it the high or the high honor?
Yeah.
Good ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just leans back against a rock. You see his chest go up into that.
Yeah.
The scenes were just so good. One of the best looking games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then they start playing.
Acting, it's almost the perfect game.
I'd argue that it's probably the best game I've ever played.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily my favorite because we've discussed that previously, but yeah, it is the best overall package of any game I've ever seen.
Well,
but just as soon as that music starts playing, the waterworks are on.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I cried for a good 5 minutes.
Fucking hell.
After that happened. Like,
I was actually
a bit
watching
like
this.
sobby and just this
not,
is bullshit.
Not
like
full on
I'm
crying.
sad. Like I got invested in this character and it's done.
Well, it's an emotional thing, and the music and all that
Yeah,
sort of shit.
they like you said, the script writing for it just on point. I've seen interviews with the actors who did it,
Yeah.
and the guy who played Dutch
Yeah, I was watching
said
that
he
the other
walked
day,
up a
actually.
ramp and like off screen,
Yeah.
and he just cried himself.
Yeah.
I think that was the last thing they filmed
Oh,
in like mocap and whatever, and
Yeah.
like that bastard's crying.
yeah.
Now I don't feel so bad about it myself.
Yeah.
Like it's
Well, it's like that. I think the video game thing that made me, I wouldn't say it made me cry, but it definitely made me tear up was The Last of Us 1 when Sarah dies.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've never played it, but I've seen that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. Like
Yes, that's probably the first and only time that a video game is, or maybe, I suppose it would be the first. It was definitely the first time that a video game made me cry.
Yeah.
Well, tear up, we'll say.
yeah.
Yeah, it just, like, because you sort of don't expect that to happen.
No, like
Well, you don't really.
you're what, like
you don't
10
really-
minutes into the game,
Yeah, you don't.
and you start playing this innocent child
Yeah.
in
And then
the
you start
apocalypse,
playing-
and
yeah, well, you play as her for the first bit, and then you start playing as Joel, and then
well, it's all
It-
just sort
it's
of
just
mostly
that- it's just
cinematic
that-
after that, and
yeah,
then
it's just that shock of like, oh no, and then you look over and she's fucked. She's
yeah,
been
well, I
shot,
mean,
and then
you hear the gunshot, and then Joel's like, "Oh,
oh, thank God, and
Yeah.
then, and Tommy nails him in the head,
yeah,
and then he looks over and he's like, oh no,
yeah," and I guess you don't have quite this perspective yet. Like seeing a kid, you can almost put yourself in those shoes. Like, shit, if that was my kid dying,
yeah,
what the fuck? Like,
but it's
this is
like
bullshit. Why?
yeah.
Why make me feel
things.
well things, but like also good because it's a family game. It's apocalyptic, but
Yeah,
it's like a father, his brother, and the daughter. Like,
yeah,
and then they just straight up fucking bang.
yeah, cop
Just
these.
take her out the back and shoot her.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any. I mean, a few movies, like there's always scenes in movies that makes you tear up or
Yeah.
you get emotional or
Oh,
whatever. But
absolute tearjerk is like, have you seen 1917?
yeah,
The scene where the kid gets stabbed by the pilot and ends up dying. Like,
yeah,
actually, the scene that kills me in that movie is after he's just floated down the river, gets out, and then you hear that singing with all the soldiers sitting around.
oh yeah,
Because that song was actually written, I think, during the US Civil War.
oh right,
It's been covered a few times, but that version of it, it's just that really like haunting vocals.
yeah,
Like, again, you get invested.
yeah. But that's the whole thing of a good storytelling
Oh,
sort of thing, anyway.
A good movie, you are invested in it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I hate movies that aren't comedy or action, because you're not getting in. Like, comedy and action, you don't get invested in. You're just having a good time,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
you get that.
Well, I suppose
then-
that's the whole drama. Like that's the drama. Of
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Any serious movie like that, it sucks you in,
Yeah.
and then it just shits all over your heart. Like,
yeah. Yeah. But
although-
I mean,
on the flip side of that, you look at Scrubs.
yeah,
Comedy show, super well done. One of my
Yeah.
favourite shows ever made. And they really cover some of the serious topics. And there's times in that where you get emotional and tear up.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I watched Blackadder the other day
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Amazon. It's funny, they've got all 4 seasons on there, but you can only watch season 3 and 4. I think season 1 and 2 might be 2PC or some bullshit.
they're probably, they
Or
just
maybe
don't
the
have the,
rights
yeah,
or something. Anyway,
they don't have the streaming rights to them.
Yeah.
But you can buy them.
yeah.
Yeah,
But anyway, in the 4th, have you ever seen it?
yeah, yeah,
Well, the last episode of the 4th season, like they're in World War One.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they've just gotten the order to go over the top, and it's like he's been putting this. Well, I think he said like they've been there for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And they've sort of had the order before, but because it's a comedy, he sort of bullshitted his way around it.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to. Or he's always trying to sort of get away from the front line.
Yeah.
But like in that last episode, it's sort of like it hits everyone.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, we're actually gonna do this, and the other two are like Hugh Laurie and Baldrick.
Yeah.
They're sort of too dumb and oblivious to see what's going on. But
Yeah.
he's saying like that's it, we're gonna die now.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, it's a glorious charge and all this bullshit. And there's like right before they're like, oh, Captain Blackhat, I'm actually scared about this. And he's like, well, sure, you fucking should be. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's sort of that, it's like it's still a comedy show and there's still jokes in it, but there's moments of like that realization of, oh fuck.
They really portray the seriousness of it well.
Yeah.
Like, I do like shows like that. You can't have it something that's all comedy all the time.
Yeah.
You have to have that contrast to make the comedy really shine.
Well, I mean, if it's going to be a comedy show, fair enough. But if it's a comedy show about something serious like that,
particularly World War One era, like
you can,
can't.
It is a funny show.
Yeah,
and they can make jokes out of most of it. But it's like they know when a serious situation happens.
Yeah,
you let the serious, like, you don't joke about it too much.
Yeah,
you let
there's comedy in everything,
and it's definitely more of an impact.
It's comedic timing.
Well, I mean, like you look at something like Thor: Love and Thunder, like fuck off, like that. It's like they never let any dramatic thing sink in.
Yeah, there's no
just,
tension in
quick,
there. That
come up with something, another joke.
Yeah,
and then it's just like,
and it's a fairly serious nature within that movie. Like, it should have been a bit less jokey, but then you look at something like Ace Ventura. There is no seriousness to it at all.
Oh, God, no.
It's all joke, but that's what you expect.
Yeah.
There's no build-up with previous ones being so serious.
Yeah.
Like the first two Thors were serious as a heart attack.
Yeah.
Then you got Ragnarok, which is just the perfect Thor movie.
No.
Because they balanced the serious and the comedy.
Yeah.
And it just sort of tipped a bit far for Love and Thunder. But then that's okay. But Ace Ventura, you watch the first one, nothing serious about it at all.
Oh, no.
And then you watch the second one, exactly the same. Like, you don't expect a heartwarming moment in there or anything.
Nah, God, no. Yeah, well,
you expect him to crawl out of a rhino's bumhole. Like, you see that, and it's...
No one was expecting that, but I'm so
glad
it's
not
they did.
unexpected. Like, it fits the theme.
It fits the character.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of a serious... You couldn't have 1917 with slapstick comedy.
No.
Like,
that would just
you've
be
got
so out of place.
Yeah. And I think that's what Love and Thunder was.
Yeah.
It was that slapstick comedy.
It was
in
like
what should have been a more serious movie.
Well, yeah, it's like there's a lot wrong with that movie, but it's like it's too. You know, I love comedies. Like, everyone loves to laugh, but like, there's just it's too much sort of humor trying to be pushed into it.
Yeah.
And it just did not work.
It's forced comedy.
Yeah.
We were actually discussing it before this, but Airplane 2.
Yeah.
Airplane 1, perfect movie. Like, some very dated references that would not fly today.
Yeah.
But the ratio and speed of the jokes was perfect.
Yeah.
But then the studio sort of forced Airplane 2 to happen. Initially, they wanted the original crew, directors, scriptwriters, whatever, to come in to do the sequel. That would have been fine because they know the comedy, they know project. So the studio just brought in a new crew. And they literally recycled every single joke from the first one and just overdid it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so rehashing every single joke and just doing it to death. I like the idea of reusing some of the jokes from the first one or recycling them. You do them once or twice as an homage.
Yeah, but
to the predecessor.
you
But
don't do the exact same joke because it's like, well,
And-
if you're going to do that, I might as well watch the first one.
yeah, and not only did they do the exact same joke, a joke that they did, say, twice in the first one, they did 10 times in the second one.
Yeah,
Like,
flogging a dead horse
Yeah.
sort of thing.
yeah. Sometimes you just have to know when to cut your losses.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the Naked Gun movies.
Mm.
3 movies, they reuse a lot of the same jokes between all 3 movies, but it fits the style and it's not overdone. Like, it's done well. It's done by the same people,
Yeah.
which also helps, but everything just sort of worked in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But
do you hear, going a bit off topic here,
that's fine.
I can't remember if we talked about this on the last episode. I don't think we did. Isaac Butterfield said that his podcast isn't going any, or
Yeah,
it's not.
the current format
Yeah.
of the Cancel Me Now podcast, which we both love, is sort of done.
Yeah.
I mean, everything,
I mean, like, he's just had a
has-
kid and all that, and I guess, and touring, and
and he did explain, like,
Yeah, he did explain why
he was
couldn't
doing
do
it with a good friend and didn't want that to change his friendship. And
Yeah.
And I guess
which
if-
kind of made me think, I don't think that doing this with you would change our friendship.
I've been thinking the same thing.
But in saying that, like, he obviously, like, we're different people, but
yeah,
I think he said that like, we've been friends since, like,
30
birth.
years. Yeah, like,
But I think he was saying that him and Bluey only know each other for 10 years or some shit.
yeah. Yeah, so their dynamic is probably different to what we have. Us doing this podcast is exactly the same as us sitting around not doing this podcast.
Yeah.
We have the same sort of conversations, and yeah, I will say that it's changed the dynamic a little bit, because when the thoughts for topics come into my head for this,
Yeah.
maybe not the ones I've brought up today, but some of the other things that we've discussed, I'd normally just
Yeah.
oh, Jesus.
We just talk
I'd
about
shoot you
this
off
shit.
a text or something, and
Yeah.
like, so I have to monitor myself a little bit. I can't just say everything to you that I want to, because I want to save some of it for here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we will have discussions. Like, we were talking last weekend and made some good jokes, some questionable ones that I'm glad were never recorded.
Well, that's
but
the
then
thing
we were
is-
saying, I wish we had have said that on the podcast. And
Yeah.
I can't remember most of it anymore because my brain is just a sieve. But
Mm.
I hate the idea of having to bring something else back up. There are topics that we've brought up naturally in conversation 3 or 4 times, and they just get funnier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, oh, that was a good joke, we should reuse that. It just doesn't flow.
Yeah.
So we can still have basically what we have here outside of here as well.
Yeah. But I suppose that, like,
For us, there's no interference, there's no clashing, no crossover. Whereas for him, I guess, if the only time he got to see Bluey was doing the podcast,
well, I think
You
that was
wanna-
the thing, was the only, like, well, like you just said, was, oh, well, normally I just do this.
yeah,
Like, normally it'd be, like, we'd just be talking shit. But it's like, now it's sort of like, well, you can't say everything you want to say because, we got to save that for the
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's his situation, but that's just how I inferred it. But
yeah. I mean, it could be as well that, you know, we see, like, if our only interaction was doing this,
yeah,
then I would for sure cut this so we could just hang out socially again.
see, I think that's,
But I think that's what it
that's what,
primarily was. Whereas for us, we can do both quite comfortably.
yeah,
You know, we only do this for 2 hours every other week
yeah,
between editing and recording and all of that. Whereas if we only had 2 hours to catch up every other week,
yeah.
I wouldn't want to be just doing this.
Oh God!
But we're
yeah.
lucky enough that we live close enough together, like to each other, and socially, we all just sort of run in together
Yeah.
anyway.
Our friend groups are pretty much the same group.
It's the same 3 people. But yeah, it's so. If that was our situation, then I probably would drop this and just be friends.
Yeah.
But because we can go out for a drink or just hang out watching YouTube and having a laugh or something, and then come and do this as well,
Yeah.
I think that's, at least for the time being, it works.
I think we're just so full of shit that we can...
I don't think that. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like...
We can do... Not that this episode has obviously gone down the, like, shit path, so to speak, like the bullshit path. But, like...
We're not too deep into it yet.
Well, no.
But, yeah, it's...
I suppose you've got to be... Well, us, because we're so... Well, I mean, we're pretty similar in almost every thing.
Yeah.
And even if we're not, it's like, well, we can still talk about anything.
Yeah. And we've still got enough to talk about between doing this and socially.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like,
therapy session over. Let's talk about something fucked.
I mean, it's not a therapy session. It's just, it's an observation that we're a bit sad that a podcast that we enjoy isn't going to be the same anymore.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's still making videos on YouTube and stuff.
yeah, I'm glad of that.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, like I said, he's just had a kid and like touring and that's back on and all that. So I suppose...
Well, I mean, he's busy. He's just not going to be
busy.
available as much. Yeah.
Blue is busy and his schedules don't match up and
Yeah.
all that shit. But,
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
It is sad, but, you know...
That's life.
Nothing lasts forever and all that.
Yeah. You just have to be realistic about it.
Yeah.
God, if this is our last episode, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah.
I hope it's not.
Well, I don't think it will be.
I want a beer sponsor.
Unless we die between now and the next one.
Don't tempt it.
Yeah. I see that divot in the wall there. Driving me mad.
Kurt Cobain shotgun theory's looking good. There's actually a channel I watch on YouTube. I don't know if you've heard of Brandon Herrera.
No.
Okay, so he does a lot of like gun videos.
Yeah.
A couple of the series he does cursed gun images. So he reviews just ridiculous pictures. So it could be a pistol where the barrel's facing backwards, so someone's photoshopped it to look dumb.
Yeah.
He's done the Darwin Awards.
Yep.
For purely gun-related stuff.
Yeah, like what you shouldn't do.
Yep.
Yep.
But then he's done a couple of videos about presidential assassinations.
Oh, yeah.
So he did the JFK one, and the most recent one he did was Lincoln. So he shows off the gun.
And so then he's like 2 for 2 then.
Yeah. 100%. But he does...
That's a very short series.
Well, where I'm getting to is coming up, but he shows off the gun, fires it, explains about it, and then he's used ballistic dummies.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like a ballistics dummy lab in the US that has ballistic gel molds filled with
blood and
bone replicas, and they're just condoms full of fake blood for like the brain and shit.
Yeah. I think I've seen them.
So, yeah, he shoots it and shows what the actual damage is.
Is that where the term hanging brain comes from?
I don't think so, but I think that's just a ball sack looking like a brain, acting like a brain.
Acting like a brain, yeah.
Being many men's brain.
Yep. Anyway.
But he was saying another one that he wants to do is Kurt Cobain.
Oh, yeah.
And just show what would happen. Interesting, but...
Well, I think I know what would happen is Dommy would blow up and his... shooting out the top of his head.
Yeah. But it's really cool to see. They did a series with, like, what damage a bullet, like, certain calibers would do.
Yeah.
And just showing that, like, a .22, not a big round at all, not a lot of power, but it'll still kill you.
Yeah.
Or, like, a 30-06 or something. If it just glances the side of your head, you're done.
Yeah.
Because the energy transferred, like, that shit's cool to me.
Yeah.
Seeing the, dare I say it, scientific side of it.
Yeah.
Just to see what would happen if you were to be shot.
I think Mythbusters did a thing on that. They were saying that it was like someone was shooting like a 50 cal, a BMG or whatever,
Yeah.
and it didn't even hit the person, but it went past them.
Yeah.
No, the myth was that like it went past them and the like concussive whatever still killed them. And
Yeah.
I think they proved that it didn't.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
think.
shot it through. I think they had a heap of glasses
Yeah.
on the side, and they
Yeah.
shot it through that, and the glasses didn't really move at all. So
Yeah.
they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's you sort of have to make contact
Yeah,
for
it has
that
to
energy
actually
transfer.
hit. Yeah.
Like it could just glance the side of your head,
Yeah.
and that's all it'd take
Oh, yeah, but
because it's
that's
actually
still a lot
making
of
contact
force,
and transferring that
touching you.
energy into you.
Yeah, well,
So that's what does it.
Yeah.
Like, well, that and the big wound channel and the giant exit wound from
yeah,
a 50 cal.
and you can see their brain hanging out the side of
Yeah,
their head.
yeah.
Your brain doesn't pulse, does it?
I don't think so. It probably does to a degree just because of the blood flowing through it.
Mm.
Like you have two arteries that go into your brain,
Yeah.
so that would pulse. But the brain itself doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't
just
like a sponge.
Yeah, no, it's just like fatty tissue.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
not like in every movie and video game you see where it's like moving.
Yeah, like Sniper Elite when you shoot the brain and it's doing a full.
Oh,
Like, it's just a rave going on inside his head. The brains are like.
until the bullet hits it.
Oh, yeah,
Once the
well-
bullet hits it, it becomes
well,
soup. But yeah,
Yeah. But even when the bullet hits it, it's like someone's just grabbed the bastard and
yeah,
like it's sort of. I can't explain
it's in
it.
motion before anything hits
Maybe
it.
yeah,
Like, it's-
maybe what I'm thinking and what actually happened is two totally different things. I've had a few.
yeah,
That's just going to
That's
be
your
my
excuse.
for
Yeah.
everything.
yeah. May not be an excuse. We discussed earlier reviewing zero alcohol beers because Adam and I both quite like beer.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to not drink as much, and I've had a couple of stints where I've just given up drinking, and it's helped me. I learnt self-control.
Yeah.
But-
I'm still working on it.
Oh, yeah, it takes time. But then,
I
like,
give a fuck.
I thought there's so many out there now, and big name
name.
brands like
Yeah.
Heineken and Peroni, and
Yeah, it's
Great
like
Northern do it, like,
everyone's got.
everyone's doing a zero alcohol.
Yeah,
So I just want to see. Maybe we should get.
like a full strength one.
I was about to say, yeah, a zero alcohol and its full strength equivalent,
Yeah,
and just compare them.
yeah,
I can almost guarantee it won't be as good.
yeah.
But then to be able to rank, if you want a zero alcohol beer, this is the one to go for because it has the closest taste or whatever.
Yeah, like if
The
you-
most
if you
enjoyable
like-
experience.
Yeah, if you like, say, Great Northern,
Yeah.
like original Great Northern, and you don't want to have, like, you want to have 6 of them,
Yeah.
but you obviously can't because you're driving.
Yeah, you're going to a barbecue and you want to
Like, yeah,
just keep up with your
yeah.
mates, but not
it's good.
get plastered. Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
you know, it's shit or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like what you said, which one tastes the closest to
To actual beer.
the actual, yeah.
Well, even not just like its equivalent, just beer in general. Oh,
Yeah.
where were we? Shut up. We went out to a bar not
They're
long
full
ago.
Asian then.
Yeah. If we weren't being, there's so many things we're going to be cancelled for doing this. It's great.
Yeah. There's not many Asians. Doesn't matter.
No, they're not the majority population of the earth.
No.
Anyway, we're out at the pub, trying to remember which one because we went to a few that night. One of them had Powers on tap.
Oh, yeah. That's what I meant to tell you. Me and Dave went to
The stock.
the stock.
Yeah.
Oh, no, and the golf club. They had it on tap at the golf club.
That's exactly where it
Yeah.
was. That's where I remember seeing it. Yeah.
yeah, and I meant
It's
to
not
take-
Powers Gold, but
No, yeah. But
it's a Powers product. And
yeah.
Adam and I have been very open about this in our discussions
Powers
around
is
beer.
possibly
Powers Gold.
the worst thing I've ever disgusting.
And I've mixed all sorts of shit into drinks. but-
Have you ever had a Foster's?
Yeah.
Foster's
I would
had
drink
the-
Foster's before
Well,
Powers.
so would I, but
I'm not going to jump on
gonna
either
put,
of them.
I'm going to put Foster's second, like the
Yeah,
second
it's-
shittest beer.
Pretty dog shit.
It's got the aftertaste of Foster's is Powers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like the initial hit. It's like it's not. Yeah. It's better than Powers.
Yeah.
But then the aftertaste is Powers.
Oh, it's just
Powers
awful.
Gold. Who the fuck drinks that? When there are
Well,
so
we
many...
did when we were young
Yeah.
and poor.
That was only because we got a 30 can block for $30.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
thought,
we got a dirt cheap
you know
slab
what?
of them.
That's
and
pretty good.
I
And it
think
was
we
not.
drank like 3 each tops,
Yeah.
and then just binned the rest because
Yeah.
it fucking sucked. Oh. There's not many drinks I can ever say have been that awful.
No.
Like, I had a bad experience on vodka and just couldn't stomach it for ages.
yeah,
But
that-
at least
that
I
wasn't
can go back to drinking vodka. Like,
yeah, but that wasn't
I would
because
never-
of shit.
well, I mean, vodka's not great. At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I would never go back to Powers.
No. Yeah.
Like,
That's like what they use in Guantanamo Bay or some shit.
that's not even that.
That's
Like,
fucked. That's
Although-
that's ASIO's torture. We need to get some
You like
information
beer?
out of it.
here you go. We're just going to put this in an unnamed,
Yeah.
like in an unmarked can. Enjoy your beer.
I'll tell you anything.
Yeah.
No, it's like, well,
Although in
you want
saying
something
that-
to drink, and they just slam a can of Powers in front of you. And
Yeah.
say, this
Are
is
you
all.
thirsty? Yeah.
This is all we got. And
Whack you out in the desert.
oh, I give you a
Get you
Powers.
hot and thirsty.
Oh,
yeah. And then the Powers.
You would rather die than drink a Powers.
Fuck yeah.
That should
I would
be-
drink my own piss.
That-
Which
that
is
should-
about the equivalent of Powers.
well,
but
no,
it's
piss
just
is-
not carbonated.
Piss is better than
Yeah.
Powers.
I would drink
And I'll
your
stand
piss
by that.
before I drink
Quote
Powers.
that. Piss is better than Powers.
There's a quote to put on our next shirt. But I was half tempted to try that Powers at the golf club
Yeah.
because it's not Powers Gold.
Yeah, I suppose.
Maybe in the decades since we last had Powers, they've come along.
Oh, I don't know. I'll let you try it first.
I might have to get a pot of it next time we're there just to sample it. I don't want to commit to any volume.
Yeah, it's like, just like,
Enough that
what's the smallest glass you've got?
just give me a shot
A
glass of
a
Powers.
shot of Powers,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, because that's
I have the powers.
you only say that if it's any good.
And She-Man. Sorry, you can't say that anymore.
It just makes me think of the Bud Light controversy lately.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like
She-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Yeah. It was is that Dylan Mulvaney? The Bud thing?
I think so. I've honestly
And
got no idea.
She, he, they, them, whatever. Like, oh, it's 300 and something days of being a woman. Yeehaw.
Yeah,
Anyway, I'd like to enjoy some Bud Light. Ah,
the
whoever
Optimus
thought-
Prime of people. Transformers, roll out.
Trannies.
We're
Trans-
definitely being cancelled
Trans
now.
women, men in disguise.
You have just secured our cancellation. When people actually listen to this, we are done.
Oh, well.
We may as well capitalise on it.
What are they going to do? Be angry?
We're making 2 shirts now. One is trans women, men in disguise, and one is piss is better than Powers.
I'll have that on my tombstone.
Yeah, piss is better than Powers. Or the,
Both. The two best
we have to be
Adam's
buried
ever
side
said.
by side. Just all of the shitty things we ever say, just listed. We're gonna need like 3 headstones.
We're going to do like a mausoleum.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just
shit
carved
in the wall.
hieroglyphics of our shitty sayings. So then, when people find them in 1,000 years, they go, "Let's decipher this. What did this mean?"
Yeah.
Piss is better than Powers.
But then they'd probably get all like hypothetical on you. And, oh,
Yeah.
now, what does that mean? What was
Yeah.
he trying to say?
Yeah. Like you've got a picture of a Powers Gold next to it
Yeah.
with the circle and line through
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah. Just a penis with piss coming out.
I was going to say a dick
then-
and piss with a tick, a Powers with a cross next to it. Like,
Yeah.
what did they mean by
what
that?
did they mean by this? What were they trying to say?
Yeah.
And
We're
then-
trying to say that Powers Gold is dog shit. I would rather
I would
drink
my own
liquid dog shit than
Or it's just
like-
someone doing the sprinkler. They piss into their mouth. It's that
like
with a
that
tick
footy
and
player.
then-
There's a
yeah,
photo of it at the urinal. He's, just,
Yeah.
he's drinking from the primary school bubbler,
Yeah,
just
well,
leaning
I
up.
think that's what they call it, bubbling. And that's not a joke. It was a Sharks player, wasn't it?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure they call that bubbling. Because when you piss up in the air and it sort of reaches the point of...
It does.
It falls back on
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
Yeah, well, you do that.
That's
then you-
exactly what the bubblers do.
Exactly, and then you put your head over it. Yeah,
Like,
bubbling.
Gollum has the right response to that.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we saying?
Yeah.
I'm glad that this podcast got back on track.
Yeah.
Back to our usual.
Yeah.
Talking absolute
drinking piss and drinking piss.
Yeah. Sinking piss and drinking piss.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
I got no idea.
If you want to drink piss, you don't do it in a public place where some bastard's taking a picture of you.
And you don't just suck it straight from your own dick.
I don't know.
You piss in a cup or a bottle first. Like,
Straight from the source.
no, I don't want to drink it warm. I ideally don't want to drink it at all,
It's
but
like coffee. You got to drink it warm.
I don't want to say what I was about to, but I was going to say, should we just test this?
No,
is
no,
piss better
no.
warm or cold? I'm going to interview people. Is
Well,
piss better warm or cold?
just hold the microphone to their face like I know you know the answer to this.
We should email Bear Grylls. Is piss better hot or cold?
Then send him a can of Powers and say which one's better,
Yeah.
piss or Powers.
And compare it to hot or cold Powers. Regardless, the
Yeah.
piss is going to
Yeah.
surpass Powers. But
It's like which is better, hot
hot piss or cold
piss or
Powers,
cold-
because hot Powers is a no go.
Yeah.
I was
It's
just thinking-
more which piss is better,
Yeah.
cold or hot than Powers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to buy a slab of Powers and bury it so no one ever has to fucking drink it.
Well, you could too because I think it's the cheapest beer I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Oh, ton. That's pretty cheap.
I've never actually had ton.
I've had a ton.
Oh, I've had a ton of beer, but
It's better than Powers, I guarantee.
yeah.
That's not saying much though.
What's ton? It's like Dutch or something,
I have no idea.
I think.
It's cheap as shit.
Yeah, I did look in it. Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
it's from the fucking Soviet Union because there's
I
some
think
guy
it's like
on
from-
there with a hammer and something like a blacksmith. Got the hammer and tongs out. No, not hammer and tongs. Fucking hammer and sickle out. Yeah, that.
oh Jesus.
Well, it couldn't be that cheap and be from another country because
Could be.
they'd have to import it in though.
Well, yeah.
Well, how is it?
But-
Maybe it's like, where do they still have slavery? Maybe that's where it's being made. You can't import something into a country and then sell it for $30 for 30 cans.
Full strength beer from Belgium.
Really?
Yep.
I thought Belgium's made good beer.
Most of the time they do.
Well, if that's the
It's the beer
that's
that
the,
the
worst
good beer
they
is
got-
what you're not selling for $40. Like currently $39 for a slab of middies. That's. I mean, if you're going
I assume Belgium
If you're on a
doesn't
budget-
have slavery, does it?
no, well, I don't know. I'm not Belgian. I've never been there, but
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I don't understand like economics or anything.
I don't
but-
understand slavery.
Yeah, yeah.
You just
Yeah, I think
you've got the choice to not pay people.
I understand slavery more than I do economics.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I
one
just
and the
think-
same.
Yeah.
Save money, don't pay people.
Yeah.
More money in your pocket, like more
Well,
money
yeah.
for beer.
Yeah.
Preferably not $40 a slab beer.
Mind you, $40 left. That's not bad.
Well,
I'd rather drink. I guarantee I'd rather drink that than Powers.
oh fuck yeah, that's a no-brainer.
But then again, yeah, the bar's not that high.
No,
I'd rather drink my own piss than Powers, as I've just said.
yeah, I would rather be kicked 30 times in the scrotum than drink a Powers.
Not a slab, just one.
Yeah. it's not comparable to anything.
No,
It's just wrong.
It's giving beer a bad name.
I don't even know if you could call it beer.
It's more like
It's piss. It's fizzy piss
it's
water.
fizzy piss,
Yeah.
but like camel
That's-
piss. It's
That's like the Brisbane River
fizzy
in a can.
It's like you've just drank the Brisbane River and then pissed it out, and then that's what you got. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you've pissed it out, put it in a soda stream, and then drunk that.
It said, here you go. Drink
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fizzy piss filtered river water.
You
My favourite.
Slide it in front of him, so you're still thirsty.
Yeah.
No, I've just cured thirst. We should send that shit to fucking Africa. They won't be thirsty after drinking one of them bars. It's like, I think I might never drink again.
I will happily drink mud water and die from fucking dysentery than drink.
Because I would rather drink dysentery than that.
Soupy piss water. Oh.
Which is a shame because Powers and Gold are two, like, good names.
Yeah. Well,
I suppose,
it's
well, Gold,
another
so-
controversial beer, like 4X Gold.
Yeah.
A quite drinkable beer.
Yeah.
As a lot of people
On
shit
a
on
budget,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's not a bad beer.
Oh, no, it's prior to
But-
Queensland.
Yeah. But then, like, Powers sounds like it should be great.
Yeah, it's not.
Gold sets a standard. Like,
Yeah, the Gold
it's a standard for mid-strength beer.
Yeah.
And they went and fucking... Or they tried to ruin it.
Mm.
They haven't succeeded because 4X Gold is still succeeded.
Still going, yeah.
But they gave gold a bad name. You would prefer a silver or a bronze medal over a gold.
Shot through the heart and you're to blame. You gave Gold a bad name.
Add it to the song list.
Yeah, the Powers song.
How Powers ruined music as well.
It ruins everything it touches.
Yeah. That's why Adam and I were discussing, before we were discussing, like we did in last episode, about Gollum and the picture we found
Yeah.
that Adam and I still giggle at every time we look at. That one
Yeah,
right
that
there.
one, yeah.
But adding that to a reel so people can actually see what we're talking
what we're-
about and get some
yeah.
context to it.
Yeah.
I'm never adding Powers. That is going nowhere near any of our videos or social
No,
media.
we don't- we
If
don't
the
wanna give them a
listeners
boost.
want to understand it or get an idea of it, look it up yourself and ruin your own search history because I'm not suggesting to Google, although Google is listening,
Yeah,
that
it's
Powers
always
beer
listening.
is an option.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw your phone out the window.
Yeah. Where's the hammer?
Yeah.
Where's the Powers Gold?
Right here. In my pants.
I'm not talking about a tiny little jeweler's
Yeah.
hammer. I'm not trying to make a necklace here.
I call it the mallet.
Is it because it's
Haley
short
calls-
and broad
yeah, Haley calls it the mullet because of its colour.
and it smells like a fish?
Yeah, it's scaly. And it's always doing this. It's always got that surprised look on its face, blinking.
It's winking you in the face. It's what I know. Whatever looks
Yeah.
it, it's dead in the eye.
And you cut its head off and the eye's still winking at you.
Hot Shots Part 2. Fish flopping on the plate. Size is unrealistic.
Anyway,
I think we just need
think
to.
we've
We
exhausted
need to
that.
let this die.
yeah. Anyway, I can't even remember how I ended this last time.
Pretty much the same way as you started.
Welcome to the Grundle Bundle podcast.
Well, no, it was more. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to the Grundle Bundle podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.